Alright, welcome back guys. I haven't made a video in a long time, so I figured while I have some more free time, I'll start making a few more. I'll try to be very consistent, but I have no idea how long I can keep this going. So we'll just try to make some more for now and we'll see how it goes. But if you're around my age, which I'm 18, so let's say if you're 16 to 21, 22, you should get a menial job if you don't have one already. Or if there's no better option for you, you should get one. And maybe you already do. Maybe you already have a job at McDonald's or Walmart or Home Depot, Office Depot, any one of those places. And if so, then good. I mean, at least you're learning a little bit. You're learning some lessons that are not pleasant lessons to learn, and you actually have to focus to learn those lessons. And maybe I can make a different video about that in the future, but you're doing that and you're making a little bit of money. Okay, so that's good. You're bringing in a little bit of money, maybe learning some lessons, but what are you doing with those lessons and what are you doing with that money? Well, let's just focus on the money in this video. Chances are, if you're like most teens especially, you're going to school, you're playing video games, hanging out with friends, and the money that you're getting from that job is going towards entertainment, food, and gas. But what else could be done with that money that could actually set you up for the future, at least a little bit? I mean, nowadays, so many people are struggling. It seems actually impossible to believe that most people are actually surviving financially because of how expensive everything is. I mean, whether you're making $15 an hour at McDonald's or $100,000 a year in a comfortable sales job, everyone's suffering. Everyone's suffering. I mean, you have tons of videos like this.
Nearly everyone I've talked to recently, it's just like, yeah, haha, I can't really afford groceries. Guess I just have to cut it down to 2 meals a day, and groceries are a little too much. Gotta see like how long I can get my food to last me. That's not a... Why are we casually being like, yeah, we can't afford groceries? I can't. I literally eat like 2 meals a day. I barely eat out. I don't order stuff. I eat like 2 meals a day. Sometimes I'll just have a nap for dinner because I just can't keep buying groceries. Like, you're telling us all of us have jobs, and the people specifically I was talking to have like well-paying jobs, and we all just still can't afford groceries. I mean, we're single people living on our own, so like there's rent. But besides for just paying for rent, you should also be able to afford to live, to eat, to feed yourself, and we literally can't do that right now.
Holy shit. I just went to the supermarket then to get a coffee with my mum. First of all, the coffee was $9. Second of all, holy heck, shit is getting expensive. $30 for some frickin' mayonnaise. Are you taking the absolute piss? For $56, all I got was chicken, bananas, sauce, and peanut butter. And then I thought, you know what, I might as well get some fuel while I'm at it. $2.85, now you're really taking the piss. I don't understand how people are surviving and getting the basic things they need in life. You literally fuel your car to go to work, to be able to afford to fuel your car to literally go to work. Don't you see it's such a vicious cycle and such a scam in itself? It's actually unbelievable. They've done such a good job of thinking this is how life is meant to be lived, when really deep down you know it's not. You get to do nothing you enjoy.
And it's primarily from younger people who are finding out because of inflation and likely poor financial decisions and poor decisions regarding gaining skills and actually regarding the jobs they work, they are having a hard time surviving and they don't actually see a future for themselves. And you might be in that position right now where you do not see a future for yourself because you realize how expensive things are. And it's ridiculous. Things are crazy expensive, and it doesn't seem the way things are going that anything will get better. But I think that there's a way to change that, for yourself at least. Not for most people, but for yourself. That's from having a long-term outlook of things. I mean, like I said earlier, if you have a menial job, most of your money, if you're a teen, is probably going to food, entertainment, and gas. It's a very short-term outlook. I mean, you're pretty much just looking towards the weekend. I mean, that's what most people do. Most grown-ups, most adults, just look towards the weekend. They don't think about a year into the future or even a month into the future unless it involves a vacation. They don't think about what they're gonna do, what skills they might gain, or how they can become a better person in general. It's just all about waiting until the weekend to overindulge in pursuits most of the time. Meaningless pursuits. So what if you adopted a long-term outlook? What could you do with a menial job? Instead of taking all that money and all that time you worked to make that money and just putting it into entertainment, food, and gas, what if you saved a little bit of that money and used it to gain skills instead? I mean, for me, about, 10 months ago? Yeah, 10 months ago, I was in a very similar position. I had nothing to do. I had nothing to look forward to. And I didn't even have a menial job at the time. I wasn't doing anything. My normal day consisted of video games, maybe some YouTube, and a workout. And that was it. That was my entire day. Like 16 hours I'm awake and I'm doing just that, and that's it. Sometimes just sitting around doing literally nothing. And I know that's the case for a lot of other young men, 100%. I mean, most young men I have met are like that. And you can't blame them because it's difficult to get out of, and there's no worthwhile thing to pursue for the most part. I mean, you have the choices of going to college, getting a dead-end job, or going to the military. And with those choices, there's not a meaningful essence behind most of those things, unless you're going to college for a very specific degree to get a very specific outcome, or the military. But a lot of young men are in that position where just there's nothing to look forward to, there's no reason to do anything, and the future is very vague, very, very vague. You may have a small idea of what you want to do, but even then you don't end up putting action into the realization of that idea because you have no idea what to do or how to get there. And it all started when I started the preparation, which is a program I talk a lot about on my Substack, which will be in the description to this video if you guys want to check it out. And the preparation is basically meant to prepare young men for the future. It's an alternative to college, the military, and a dead-end job. It's about gaining skills, developing character, building an education, and maybe even becoming financially independent. The only difference is it's all dependent upon you. Your success is 100% dependent upon you. And it's not at all like you can just coast through the whole thing, like you can do in college, or you can even do in the military, or a dead-end job, of course. You can coast through, live all right. You don't have to learn very much. You don't have to do very much. And most people just coast through life, don't they? They don't really put any effort into it. But the preparation is all about that. And I have been lucky enough to be the guinea pig, the beta tester for the preparation throughout these past 10 months. And it's all about basically seeing what I can do within that period of time. Instead of going to college, what skills can I learn? What can I do? All those things. How can I become better overall? How can I reach the person I want to be? How can I get a little closer every day, every week, every month? And so when that started, a few things changed. I got a menial job. I got a job at Office Depot. And a lot of that was out of boredom for sure. I mean, I also started to learn chess, practice my Spanish. I started reading a lot more at the time, but of course I have a lot more time during the day, so why not, because I'm bored, get a job, I'll make some more money. And I didn't know what kind of lessons I would learn, but I learned a few lessons and I fill in that time, So I started doing that, and I also started taking an EMT class, which was really for me the start of the whole preparation program, was taking that class and beginning to learn some valuable skills. And that class started on August 8th and went to November 9th. And so during that time, I did use a lot of the money I made on from the menial job from Office Depot on gas. I mean, of course, I was driving to work, and I was driving to the EMT class, and then later to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. So that's a lot of driving, a lot of gas used during that time. But I would also take a lot of nighttime drives just for enjoyment, and that used a lot of. They were unnecessary, and that used a lot of money. But during the time when I was working at Office Depot, and then later I worked as a pizza delivery driver for 2 weeks, I gained enough money during that time to pay off the EMT class, which was, I think, $1,500, and then the BJJ classes, which were, let's say, $90 a month, maybe a little more. But instead of using all that money I had on things that didn't matter and on consumer items, on consumer goods, I was investing in myself to learn valuable skills, which have since then opened up several opportunities, specifically with the EMT class. I mean, with the BJJ class as well, you learn self-defense, which is very important, especially for any man. But on top of that, I had extreme social anxiety at the time. And I remember I would, like, my hands would get cold from all the adrenaline, all the blood leaving my extremities and rushing towards my head because of how nervous I was, how anxious I was. My heart would start beating faster, the adrenaline would start going, and my vision would get blurry, and I'll start sweating. All just because I was around a lot of people, all because of social anxiety. So yes, I was learning skills, but also I was trying to dissipate that anxiety over time. So that was good. But specifically with the EMT class, I learned valuable skills over a little over 3 months. Since then, I took the NREMT test, which is the national test you have to take to become a certified EMT. I passed it the first time, so now I'm a certified EMT. I recently just became a licensed EMT, and then I also got a job offer to work as an EMT / wildland firefighter, which is an opportunity I never expected, but it was all because instead of wasting all that money from that menial job, I invested it in myself, learned those skills, and put serious effort into learning those skills as well. And at the same time, I was putting myself out there so people heard that what I was doing and that I was in this program, that I'm in this program. And so people wanted to help out, and I'm greatly appreciative for that. But none of that would have happened if I didn't try to learn some skills, become more competent in a certain field, and improve myself in that way. And so that's I think the big thing is, for young men especially, is that you have a lot of time and energy. Lots of time and energy. I mean, I go crazy sometimes when I have nothing to do at all. And you're probably like that too. If you have nothing to do, you start going stir crazy. So if you take the time that you have, which is, I mean, if you start actually doing things, you'll realize just how much time you have, and you'll be incredibly surprised. But if you combine the time you have with the energy you have, you can get so much more done than anybody else around you. 100%. I mean, I took the EMT class, took the BJJ class, worked 2 jobs. This is all within a 7-month time frame. Started reading a lot. I read 35 books during that time. I read over, I think, 32 historical speeches and texts. Like I said, I became a certified EMT after taking the national exam. Then I went to South America, where my family lives, and I became apprenticed to an Uruguayan gaucho, which is an Uruguayan cowboy. And I learned how to mend fences, how to shoe horses, how to treat cattle, how to drive tractors. So, and I started writing personal articles during that time, and I wrote in a total of 39,711 words. So with the amount of time you have, you really have no idea what you can do. And some of those opportunities were already available to me, like becoming apprentice to that Uruguayan gaucho. You know, that was already in place, and that was already something I could have done, which I didn't previously do. And chances are, if you look around in your life, there's things that you can do that are already available to you that can help you learn skills, become more competent, and in consequence, more confident. But besides those things that are already in place, you should take the time that you have to start a menial job, learn some lessons from it, but more importantly, use that money to invest in yourself and learn valuable skills. And you'll come to see later on, if you do put serious effort into learning these skills, that the people who I showed at the beginning of the video, who are all struggling financially, you'll be much better off than all those people, because they set their sights on a very narrow range of skills. They're very limited in what they can do, and because of that, I mean, their pay is limited, first of all, and they're limited to a specific situation. They are dependent upon an industry or a job, and chances are they'll never escape that. They'll never get out of it. So if you invest in yourself over time, starting off with a menial job you have or are going to have, and learn valuable skills and compound those skills over time, you're going to be in a much better position, 100% much better position than any of those people. Because if one industry doesn't work out, or one job doesn't work out, or one business you make doesn't work out, you'll have a set of skills which will allow you to build another business, or work within another industry, or find another job. And you won't be limited to all those factors which I just spoke about. So, really, man, if you have time, which you probably do, if you don't have a job, and you have energy, which you definitely do, get a menial job, and use that money to invest in yourself and gain valuable skills. If you guys want to check out the preparation, then it'll be in the link in the description. I upload a summary of what I did each week for my time within my version of the preparation. So if you guys want any ideas of what you can do, if you're like me, if you're like how I was 10 months ago and you have nothing going on, you have no idea what to do with your life, and you're demoralized, let's say, then I highly recommend you check it out so you can get some ideas of what you can do and take action on those ideas immediately. As Craig Ballantyne says, success loves speed. So get on it, get a menial job, and learn some valuable skills. I'll see you guys next time.